The Christmas Story by Bridget. Open book. To Jake, the coolest study buddy ever. Next page. I was walking to the market like any other day when suddenly an angel appeared in front of me. He told me not to be afraid, for his name was Gabriel and God had sent him to me. God had a special mission for me, and I was going to be the mother of his son, Jesus. Next page. After hearing my blessing, Joseph agreed to marry me. Joseph was going to become Jesus' stepfather and raise him as his own son. Because of the new census, our small family had to travel from Jerusalem to Bethlehem to be counted. Next page. Our trip to Bethlehem was long and tough. We only had one donkey, which Joseph allowed me to use, so I wouldn't have to walk through the hot, thick sand. We struggled through the challenges of crossing the desert because we knew that we had to be strong for Jesus. Next page. After many days of traveling through the desert, it was time for me to have my child. We had reached our destination, Bethlehem, but by the time we arrived, it was late and there were no open houses. Hoping for the best, Joseph and I approached an inn. Next page. Snow was falling on the ground as Joseph and I knocked on the inn door. Sorry, there's no room here, but the stable is open, the innkeeper told us. And so we went to the barn where Jesus will be born later that night. Turn page. As it was late December, the cold sliced through our thin cloaks. As Joseph placed hay in a pig's chow to make a manger, I felt the animals' eyes upon me. Something was telling me they knew the meaning of our presence. Next page. The child was born late in the night. A cry rang out through the small village. He was so beautiful. As I looked upon him, I knew that he was going to change the world. Next page. Shortly after Jesus was born, a herd of shepherds came to see him. They claimed that an angel had told them to come and behold the Lamb of God. The shepherds brought their sheep, which added to the stable full of animals. Next page. He was such a tiny child, but he already had so many visitors. First shepherds, now wise men. These three strange men told their tale of following a star for many days and nights. God had told them that a king was to be born here, so they traveled to see him and bring gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Next page. The wise men, shepherds, and animals all had come to this tiny town of Bethlehem to see my child. Sometimes people forget the real meaning of Christmas and only think of the decorations and presents. Instead of getting caught up in all of the presents at Christmas time, we should remember the true meaning of Christmas, a time to celebrate Jesus' birth and spend time with our family and friends.